Birdland Today, your daily dose of Orioles talk.
Welcome to Birdland Today, your daily dose of all things Baltimore Orioles. I'm Josh Soroka, lifelong Orioles fan, season ticket holder, and really just a guy that can't stop talking about the Orioles. Every week you can catch me on Section 336 with my brother as we talk and break down kind of what's bugging us for the week about the Orioles or what news there was. So make sure you check that out. But this is Birdland Today. This is my show because I can't stop talking about the Orioles. It's my chance every day to talk about whatever Orioles news is going on, roster moves, rumors, anything else that's happening in Birdland. Now, before we dive in, I want to remind you, if you are enjoying this show, take a second to rate and review Birdland Today on your favorite podcast app. It helps me more than you ever know. It helps Oriole fans more than you know because it allows them to find this show. It keeps it in the top ranks, and it keeps the conversation going. And that's what I want. The idea is that this is going to become a community. I've got plans to launch a newsletter soon so you can get Oriole stuff in your email every morning, as well as me in your ears every morning. And we're just going to let this thing grow because if you're like me, more of Birdland, more Orioles, more Oriole fans together is what you want in your life. Now, have you ever written a project, written a paper, did something, and go to submit it and realize, oh, that sucks. I'm not happy with that. That's what happened with today's podcast. I recorded it yesterday, and then I listened to it before releasing it this morning, and I said, I don't want to put that out. It's not my best work. And after all, I am a professional. So we're going to redo this podcast right now. But first, I want to remind you that since I am a professional podcaster, this is my full-time career. I want to let you know that you can do this too. If you've ever listened to this show and think, hey, I can do that, well, I totally believe in you. You totally can. And I can help. That's what I do for a living. My company is the Podcaster's Warehouse. We build podcasts just like this one, just like Section 336. If you hear me every day on the Mike O'Mara Show, that's what I do. So whether you're starting fresh or if you want to level up your existing show, I've got you covered. Editing, production, marketing, you name it. I live and breathe podcasts. It's what I do all day. So let's make yours awesome. Hit me up or check out thepodcasterswarehouse.com and let's make some podcast magic together. All right. Now that I got my ad out of the way, let's talk some Orioles baseball. Because no matter what people tell me about the Orioles not spending enough, we're still going to compete this year. And we're going to shoot for that World Series in 2025. But I really think that our success this year will depend largely on the starting rotation and how this pitching goes. And I feel like at the heart of that rotation is Grayson Rodriguez. He's still a young pitcher. He's got electric stuff. His expectations are the ceiling. There are no, it can go as high as you want. And his track record shows improvement. Now, the reason I want to talk about Grayson Rodriguez today is because yesterday he was on the MLB show Foul Territory. And they asked him about the possibility of signing a contract extension with the Orioles. And his response was both encouraging and, I don't know, I see people spinning it negatively. I can't. For me, I thought it was a positive. So his response was, to quote, if that opportunity presents itself, I'll definitely look at it. I have no problem with Baltimore. Love the fans, love Maryland, and if that opportunity presents itself, I'll definitely think about it. Now, people are upset because he says he has no problem with Baltimore. That's not a negative. And people want to read a negative into that. It's not a negative. Sorry that he didn't say he loves Baltimore. But he did say that he loves the fans. That's us. He did say he loves Maryland. If he doesn't love the downtown city, I can understand that. He's the guy that likes to go out and hunt and fish, and that's not a city guy. So don't lean into the no problem and try to spin it as a negative. Now, he didn't commit to anything concrete, but he can't. There's been no offer. He didn't say, "Oh, I hope to stay here," because he can. There's no offer. It's not that time. So he is open to the idea of staying in Baltimore for the long haul. That's what you want. That's a great sign. He loves playing here. He loves playing in Camden Yards. He loves playing for this fan base. And if the Orioles are serious about locking up this young core of players, a Grayson Rodriguez extension could be on the table for the near future. So how did we get here with Grayson Rodriguez? So the Orioles drafted Grayson Rodriguez in the first round, the 11th selection overall in the 2018 Major League Baseball draft. He then signed on with the Orioles on June 12th of that year for $4.3 million. Coming out of high school. He was coming out of Central Heights High School in Texas. He was signed to play at Texas A&M, but wouldn't you rather just go straight to the majors and get... I can't even imagine. Imagine coming out of high school and someone giving you a check for $4.3 million. It's crazy. So he played the Coast League Orioles right away, Gulf Coast League. Then he went up to the Shorebirds. He won All-Star honors there. He played in the Futures game. 2021, he started with the Ironbirds, quickly went to the Bay Sox. He had 23 starts with those two teams, and he had a 2.36 ERA and 161 strikeouts in 103 innings, more than one strikeout an inning. He then started 2022 with the Tide, and with the Tide, he had a 2.09 ERA before he got hurt. Now, if you remember, in 2023, we all hoped that Rodriguez would make the opening day roster. He did not. But then, April 5th, he started a game against the Texas Rangers. So we were disappointed, but they brought him up immediately. And that debut, he went 8 innings without a walk. The Orioles won 8-0. Oh, this is what? All right, I'm reading. See, I tried to, because I was not happy with yesterday's show, I pulled up Wikipedia, and I was just pulling some stats right out of that. And I skipped the fact that, no, it was a no decision against his debut in the Rangers. Later, he pitched against the Tampa Bay Rays and went 8-0. For that season, for the 2023 season, he was 7-4 with a 4.35 ERA and 129 strikeouts over 23 starts. I'll take that. When we look at last year, 2024, again, ended the season with an injury, which sucks. So he didn't make postseason. And I don't want to talk about him in postseason 2023 as he has a 27 ERA or something for 1 inning. But 2024, he posted a WAR of 1.4. He went 13-4, a 3.86 ERA over 20 games, 116 innings pitched, 130 strikeouts, so he's still more than one strikeout an inning, and a whip of 1.24. For his career, he is a 2.3 WAR. For his career, he's a 4.1 ERA, but career innings pitched, 238, strikeouts, 259. For career numbers, he is getting more strikeouts than innings pitched. That's the type of guy that has potential to be a true ace. And I hope that's what we're going to see here out of Grayson. I hope we're going to see him long term. The Orioles, it looks like he's fine to start the season after being shut down for spring training. So what do we expect from him this year? Well, improvement. I'd like to see that ERA this year get under 3. I'd like to see the innings pitch increase. Because he's going to need to get up to that 200 innings. And we need him healthy. And most importantly, healthy. We need the strikeouts, more than one strikeout per inning, keep him healthy, and give him lots of innings, and that ERA to come down even a little bit more. That's how you become an ace in Baltimore. And that's what we need. We need him to be the ace. He is the key part of this Orioles rotation for the future, and he needs to prove that he can handle the top of the rotation. Yes, he needs to show up in big games because that one inning for postseason is a horrible example. And that's not what we want to remember Rodriguez by. But if he can take these improvements, he could easily become a top 10, top 15 pitcher in Major League Baseball by the end of the year. And that's what we need from Grayson Rodriguez. We need him to break out this year and not just be, it's no longer time for him to talk about potential, but it's time for us to see it on the ball field. So that's it for Birdland today. Have a wonderful Thursday, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.